Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Have you ever had a day or a week when you've been through just about every emotion available, one after the other? It's exhausting, isn't it? Jesus had a day like this, or a pretty short span of time, starting at the end of Matthew 13. He'd been preaching about the kingdom of God. People had been hanging on his every word, his disciples learning and asking questions. Then he visited his hometown of Nazareth and taught in the synagogue. But the people he'd grown up with rejected him. It says they were offended at him. He said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own house." In the parallel passage, Luke 4:28 and 30, they even tried to kill him by throwing him off a cliff. Talk about rejection. Then at the beginning of chapter 14, Jesus finds out that his cousin and fellow minister John the Baptist had been decapitated by Herod's order. If you've ever lost a loved one, you know the grief he felt. He knew he needed some solitude, so he and his disciples took a boat across the Sea of Galilee to be alone. But large, needy crowds followed, walking around the sea until they found him. Instead of annoyance at the interruption of his solitude, Jesus met these people with loving compassion, healing and teaching them. He even did an amazing miracle, feeding the whole crowd with a little boy's lunch. In the parallel passage in John, the people had wanted to make him king by force. Of course, this wasn't the time, and they had no idea what he had to go through to become king. By verse 22, Jesus had to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually worn out. But he felt he needed time alone with his Father, more than rest. So he sent the crowds away. He even sent his disciples away so he could climb up the mountain by himself and spend most of the night alone with his Father. Where do you find solitude? How often do you feel you need to be alone with the Father? If Jesus needed that, how much more do we need that time with him? I spend time alone with God, walking on nature trails in our area. Also, I meet God in my favorite chair in the corner of our living room, and he always has time to meet me there. What do you think Jesus needed from the Father in his solitude? If you're not driving, close your eyes and think of all the strong emotions Jesus would have experienced. Rejection from Nazareth, grief over John the Baptist, physical and mental fatigue from healing and teaching all day, the adrenaline rush from the big miracle and the people's response. Can't you just imagine his desperate need to be alone with someone who really understood his mission and all he'd been through and all he knew he would face? In his humanity, Jesus needed his Father to give him physical strength, refreshing, focus, and fellowship. Maybe he just needed to be held. That's how I feel sometimes. When I've had a rough day, I just can't wait to get home and get a hug from my husband and sit down in my recliner, close my eyes, and just be held by the Father. What do you need from the Lord as you spend time with him today?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through his word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.